Hello everyone and welcome back to Automobile Galaxy, where we dive into the most fascinating stories in aviation history. Today, we're going to take you back to the early days of jet-powered flight in post-war Europe to explore one of France's pioneering jet fighters, the Dassault Ouragan. This sleek, single-seat aircraft marked a major turning point for France's air power and laid the foundation for many future Dassault designs. The story of the Dassault Ouragan begins in the aftermath of World War II, a time when many countries were racing to build and deploy jet fighters. France, having suffered significant destruction during the war, faced the challenge of rebuilding its air force almost from scratch. At the time, the country relied heavily on American and British aircraft, but the French government wanted to regain independence in aircraft production. That's where Marcel Dassault came in. Marcel Dassault, the visionary behind what would become Dassault Aviation, proposed the development of a jet-powered fighter in 1947. His team quickly set to work designing an aircraft that would meet the needs of the newly formed French Air Force. The result was a compact and powerful fighter known as the MD, which means hurricane in French. It was a sleek, straight-wing jet with a bubble canopy and a tricycle landing gear configuration that was becoming standard for jet fighters at the time. The Ouragan was powered by a Rolls-Royce Nini engine, which was produced under license in France by Hispano-Suiza. This turbojet engine could generate up to 5,000 pounds of thrust, giving the Ouragan a maximum speed of around 585 miles per hour, or about 940 kilometers per hour. While not as fast as swept-wing fighters that would come later, it was more than adequate for the era and placed France back into the ranks of nations with modern jet capability. The first prototype of the Ouragan flew in February 1949, and its performance impressed French military officials. After extensive testing and refinement, it entered full-scale production in 1951. The French Air Force ordered over 350 units, and the Ouragan became their first mass-produced jet fighter. It was also the first aircraft designed by Dassault to enter series production, marking the beginning of a long and successful line of French jet aircraft. Armed with 4 20mm Hispano-Suiza cannons and capable of carrying rockets and bombs, the Ouragan was versatile. For its time, it was primarily used for air defense, ground attack, and pilot training. Though it wasn't a supersonic aircraft, it had excellent handling and was rugged, reliable, and easy to maintain qualities that made it popular with pilots and mechanics alike. One of the most interesting aspects of the Ouragan's history is its international service. The aircraft was exported to several countries, most notably India and Israel. In India, the Ouragan was known as the Tuf, which also means storm. The Indian Air Force acquired over 100 aircraft and used them extensively in the 1950s and 60s, especially in border patrol and ground attack missions. In Israel, the Ouragan played a key role during the 1956 Suez Crisis, where it flew combat missions and demonstrated impressive ground attack capabilities against Egyptian forces. As aviation technology advanced rapidly during the 1950s, the Ouragan was gradually replaced by more modern designs like the Dassault Mystère and later the Mirage series. However, its contribution to French aviation cannot be overstated. It marked France's return to the forefront of military aviation design and production. Moreover, the design and development experience gained from the Ouragan directly influenced the next generation of aircraft from Dassault. Even today, aviation museums in France and other countries proudly display restored Ouragans as symbols of a pivotal time in aerospace history. For many aviation enthusiasts and historians, the Ouragan represents more than just a piece of hardware, symbolizes resilience, innovation, and the rebirth of a nation's aerospace industry. So there you have it. The story of the Dassault Ouragan, first mass-produced jet fighter and a cornerstone of post-war aviation. If you enjoyed this deep dive into aviation history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Automobile Galaxy.